Hello there, Sprouts. I'm Crimson Clover, and welcome back to Clover Reads. Today we're over on the Am I the A-Hole Here subreddit with 3 stories. The first is by Reddit user Frosting Regular 1328, titled, Am I the A-Hole for firing my assistant after she used company money to throw herself a farewell party, but didn't actually quit? Bit of a long title. I'm gonna say probably not. Who in the right mind throws a farewell party for themselves and then doesn't actually quit? So I, 28 female, own a mid-sized tech consulting firm and recently hired a new assistant, Lily, 26 female. And a few months ago, she seemed competent, though she had a quirky personality and sometimes blurred professional lines. Last week I was out of town for a conference, and while I was away, Lily emailed everyone in the company announcing she was leaving to pursue new horizons, and threw herself a massive farewell party at the office. She used the company credit card to ordering catering, decorations, custom cake, even arranged for a bartender to come set up a drink station in the break room. The total bill was close to $2,000! Oh my goodness. When I came back, I was shocked. Not only did I never receive a resignation from her, she also hadn't actually quit. When I confronted her, she said she was testing how much people appreciated her and wanted to see if anyone would convince her to stay. She called it a social experiment. I was furious and fired her on the spot for misuse of company funds and deceptive behavior. Now she's blowing up on social media claiming I'm a soulless boss who has no respect for mental health and personal exploration. She says I should have appreciated her creative way of bonding with the team. Some friends are telling me I might have overreacted, and that maybe I should have just docked her pay or giving her a warning instead. I'm torn because I do value my employees, but this felt like an absurd breach of trust. So, am I the a-hole for firing her immediately over a farewell party that wasn't even real? That's a little difficult to say. It would maybe depend on how good of a worker she was before then. Like, you said she's quirky. Is the work she's put in worth dealing with the quirkiness? If she did put in a good enough work, that the quirkiness was worth tolerating, then yeah, maybe you could have docked her pay for a few months. But also, she waited until you weren't there to do something like this, which means obviously she knew you wouldn't approve. Team bonding experience, though, and trying to get your teammates to convince you to stay. Who does that? Like, if your team members like you, they're gonna go, oh, well, I'm sad to see you go, but I'm happy you're pursuing new things that makes you happy, and that allows you to broaden your horizons. So, overall, I'm gonna say no. I don't think OP was the a-hole. The employee. Using company funds for that. Maybe they just really wanted a party and to be fancy, and thought, hey, I'm quirky. They'll just sweep this under the rug in the name of my quirkiness, and I'll get away with having a party. So no, I'm gonna stay with no. And moving on to their next story by a Reddit user Slumbering3, titled, Am I the a-hole for being angry that my roommate was sleeping under my bed for months without telling me? Who does that? Again? I, 24 male, have lived with my roommate Carl, 24 male, for 2 years. A few months into rooming with him, he told me he was a pansexual. I said, okay, cool. I'm not interested in that personal information, nor am I judgmental. I said, alright. A few times over the last year, he has asked me if I had ever considered experimenting with other men. I said, nope. Also, I said I didn't feel comfortable with him asking me such a personal question. It's not like we're close friends, we're only roommates by happenstance, basically. Anyway, every time I said that, he basically said, we'll see. I was like, what? Yes, what? Anyway, last night I had a horrifying experience. I heard a noise under my bed. It was movement. At first, I thought I was imagining things, but then I heard it again. I thought, oh god, is it a mouse or a rat or something? Oh my god, it was like 3 a.m. So I got out of bed, looked under my bed with a flashlight. The phone's flashlight. Now, this here is the most startling moment of my life. I guess I'm lucky because I have never before this moment felt true terror and fear as a physical sensation, but I was completely jolted. There, under my bed, was my roommate, staying wide-eyed at me, and he screeched when I looked under the bed. I literally thought I was having a heart attack. I then just started hearing, sorry. My roommate crawled out from under the bed crying, apologizing over and over. I was so creeped out and afraid that I ran out of the apartment in my pajamas. Presumably still with the phone. There was a Dunkin' Donut that was open 24/7 a few blocks away, so I just sat there with a decaf and a breakfast sandwich with my heart thudding away. My roommate kept texting me asking me to talk. I ignored it. In the text, he found a way to horrify me even further. He confessed he had been sleeping under my bed a few nights a week for 3 or 4 months, that he was doing it to get closer to me and to psychically saturate each other. What? I waited for him to go to work and I ran into the apartment, got my essentials, and left. I am currently crashing with a buddy. Our lease is up in 1 month and my intention is to not renew. The dude is blowing up my phone, and I'm getting texts from other people, some friends of mine and some bozos who are friends with him. He's going around telling people I shamed him, that I am rejecting his apologies. Some people are claiming I'm overreacting and invalidating his feelings. Most people agree he was improper, but think I should work it out with him and give a second chance because he's sensitive. I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I am seriously 20% convinced I am experiencing a long lucid dream of some sort, wondering if I'm going to wake up or in a coma or something because this is so insane to me. Like, not really, but maybe really. I mean, what the? So, am I the a-hole here, or is everyone around me effing nuts? Yes, they're nuts. Holy shit. That is, one day you're gonna come home and your roommate is gonna have a pointy stabby thing. No, do not sleep under people's beds without the knowing. So it sounds like your roommate's kind of obsessed with you. Thinks that he can scent imprint, maybe? Like, get you so used to a scent that you come to need it to sleep or something? But no, have you actually told your friends what he did? Did he say, hey, I confessed my feelings for him and now he's shaming me? And not saying, hey, I was sleeping under OP's bed. OP, please tell your friends what he actually did and get a check on what they're saying. That is so cray-cray. Please, people, do not do this to others. Do not sleep under their bed. If you confess your feelings, fine. If they reject it, please take the no as a no. And moving on to our third story for today. It's from user Embarrassed Basis 160. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my fiancé my stepdaughter isn't mine? Sort it yourself. That seems kinda harsh. I am a 27-year-old man. My fiancé is 30. We've been together for nearly 4 years. I have a 6-year-old son, and she has an 11-year-old daughter from previous relationship. Up until now, we've never had any issues regarding the children. Okay, so you've been in the kid's life since she was 7? Well, if you've been dating for 4 years, then probably friends maybe before that? So at least since the kid was 7, maybe a little longer. Yesterday, her daughter was set to go on a camping trip with a friend's birthday, where they'd be doing activities like kayaking. My fiancé dressed her in a dress, and I mentioned to her that it didn't seem like the right choice for the occasion. She seemed to be offended and said her daughter could wear whatever she liked, and that it wasn't a man's place to judge. I tried to clarify what I meant, but she cut me off saying, "She's my daughter, not yours." I took my son to a pre-planned match when my fiancé rang me. It turned out the birthday girl's mom told her daughter couldn't go in a dress and needed to wear a tracksuit or something similar, so they didn't let her on the bus. My fiancé then asked if I could leave the match early to drive her daughter to the activity center. I replied, "Why should I? She's not my daughter, and I'm here with my son." Neither of us are talking right now. I do have pity for my stepdaughter, and I wasn't being spiteful. My son was looking forward to it and would be about 4 hours of travel. I'm the a-hole here. Okay, there is a small update already, so from what I gather, I'm a bit of an a-hole. She was a bigger a-hole, so I'm going to try and talk it out and see what we both want. Telling my fiancé her daughter isn't mine, people wanted an update and I wanted to rant. I had a conversation with my fiancé, and she asked why I would say something hurtful. I replied I was just repeating what she had said to me earlier. Then she asked if I loved her daughter, and I said I did. She asked if it was as much as I loved my son, and I responded, almost as much. She got cranky. I asked if she loved my son. She said no. I asked if she loved me, and her answer was, sort of. What? She started crying, woke up her daughter, told her that they had to leave, though I hadn't told them to go. Oh, so you live together. I said we could talk about it tomorrow, but she insisted, saying he doesn't want us anymore. I told her that I never said that. Her daughter began crying and didn't want to leave, but her mother said, don't let me leave on my own. He doesn't want you. I reassured them both that they were welcome to stay. My fiancé decided to leave without her daughter, and now she's not answering. When I spoke to my daughter's father, he considers the fiancé's daughter his daughter. He just laughed and said that she couldn't even hold off on the crazy until after the wedding. Oh my goodness. You are slightly the a-hole for saying that she's not your daughter, deal with it yourself, but only slightly because you were repeating what the mother said. But also, oh my goodness, hopefully you pause any wedding plans, go get some counseling, because personally, if I had a child, I wouldn't marry someone who says, you have to love my daughter as much as you love your child, but I don't love yours at all, and that is fine. Because that is not okay. If you can't expect someone to love your kid and not be willing to love theirs. And also, just don't run off in the middle of the night or the day. Just don't run off and not communicate with anybody. But I guess we're saying why she and her ex-partner are ex-partners. So, Pete, I hope you can have, since it seems you left the daughter, I hope you can have a nice talk with the child. Explain that her mom seemed to set a boundary, that she wasn't allowed to be considered your child. And that's a harsh blow for an 11-year-old to take. But hopefully you can have a productive conversation about it. And also, who goes camping and kayaking in a dress? Like, I'm sure there are probably sporty dresses with like shorts attached to them to help, but kayaking can be kind of, I've been kayaking, right? So the water can be pretty rough and it can jostle you around. Well, that's whitewater rafting. Kayaking is usually a little more peaceful, but if you ever watch it, you can see that it's not always peaceful. Though I am assuming anything you send an 11-year-old is probably going to be the tame, peaceful kind on just like a nice placid lake, but still, it isn't always. And you don't want to get tossed around a little bit and have your dress get soaked. I don't know, that's just a whole lot of... It's been a while since I've been kayaking. I could be misremembering. I don't think I am, but I could be. Anyway, light asshole. Overall, not too bad though. The mom, very much. And that's where I'm going to end things for today. Kind of short stories, but let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And I will catch you next time. Bye bye.